Well, hello, sisters. How are you? It has been a while since I have popped on to see you live in the society, but I wanted to come in and wish you a happy, almost New Year. This is that time of year when we get inundated with how do we improve our life? How do we improve our looks? How do we maybe slim off some pounds? How do we learn how to upgrade into our purpose? How do we maybe shift out of a career? How do we? And I'm not here to necessarily talk about all of those things in an arduous way. What I'd love to talk to you about is what does it really mean to embody who you already are? Hi there. So, who are you? And when you look in the mirror, do you love who you see? One of the things that I have seen in my years of coaching women, and this is around the world, it's not just women from the States, is that when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we immediately hear that voice in our head of the things that aren't empowering. And it doesn't matter how much you may love yourself or know that you're worthy of love, there's something that happens, and it comes around our limiting beliefs. And remember, your limiting beliefs it's your subconscious mind. And so it's not even your conscious mind. And it's a little more difficult to change those things than you may have thought the old way, through talking about it, through even reading about it, to sitting down with girlfriends about it, sometimes even talking to your coach, your counselor. And I'm saying that as a teacher and a coach, which is one reason why, in all of my tutelage, everything that I've been doing to get to the space I am now, to know that I am a woman who has led herself to have this life, to have the partnership, to have the business, to have the children. It doesn't mean that it doesn't come with some aches and pains sometimes. But the key is to learn how to embody who you already are, but upgraded in a way that you're feeling your feelings, that you're allowing yourself to go to those deeper spaces. And I love to use these different modalities to tie these in, where we will muscle test and dive into these limiting beliefs that you may have so we can actually toss them aside for good. Which, what that does then is it allows for this beautiful vessel of this body that God gave you, right? For there to be more love and more joy. Now, when I was hopping on today, I was going to talk about something completely different. And then I just had this inner knowing, right? Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it intuition. Some people call it a knowing. But something was like, you got to pop on. And so here I am. Something that I'm known for is how to make art out of our emotions. That you must feel to heal. And that's really where, I found my work with embodiment. So many people think embodiment is around dance, and it is. There is nothing like moving my body to feel all the feelings, whether that is rage, whether that is hunger, whether that is love, whether that is yearn, desire, whatever it is. There's nothing like hearing a song, hitting my mat, and moving my body that way. And what I know is that embodiment comes in so many other fashion. And what's beautiful about that is that when you truly will allow yourself to feel the feelings and make art out of the mundane, you will be amazed at how you will be communicating easier, more effectively with the people around you. And I'm not just talking about your partner. I'm actually talking about your kids. I'm talking about the people you work with. I'm talking about if you're leading a meeting. You can even do this when you're leading a Zoom. So I want to give you permission to lean into the new embodied you. I want to give you permission to actually dream really big. And who would you be if you were already that person and you believed you were that person, right? Because we're all perfect in God's eyes. But there's that little residue, there's that little tickle that we know that maybe there's something else that we're not shining, right? It is going to be different for everyone. But when I wanted to pop on today and share this, it was coming from a place of fullness. There have been times, I'm sure you all can relate, when it's the end of the year and you feel compelled, you've got to do your manifestation board, you need to write out your new goals, you need to burn things under the moon, and, all of that. All that's fine. All that's fine. And what I'm going to ask of you is to lean in a little bit, and I'm going to invite you to join me in this journey with this meditation. All you need to do is just kick back and allow my voice, my words, as I'm being led to share some things with you and to help you clear some pieces. Now, there's going to be some follow-up after that if you choose, but some people just find that they can do this and it is all right, and that is okay too. And what I have moving forward for you, there's going to be a link under here, and there's for you to actually download that meditation. I'm not going to do that here. What I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of a sampling of what it's like to do deeper embodiment work by making art out of the mundane, making art out of your beautiful emotions, allowing your feminine expression to be fully vibrant, even if you're feeling shy. Because even feeling shy and embodying shyness is quite beautiful, isn't it? Those moments when you know that you should be stepping up and taking a stand, but you just don't have the energy for it. Or maybe you're not believing that your voice should be heard. I'd like to help you actually as clear this so you can stand up taller. You can actually speak your truth, but speak it from your belly. And you don't have to speak louder. It's actually in the way we carry ourselves. So this whole new embodied you, I've been, using this with my Sacred She Sisterhood and my Sirens. The Sirens is my advanced practice group. And I was doing a workshop with them the other day. And so this was starting to get born, this little bubbly thing I wanted to present to y'all. I wanted to gift you this manifestation, abundance, goodness. And then I wanted to invite you down this other path. So I will put a link here for you to download this. And again, what I really want to do going into the new year as you're embodying this new you, right, is that you are going to invite in the masculine energy. That part of you that gets things done. That part of you that's the master of time and space. The part of you that's already taken down your holiday decorations. The part of you that actually is like, yeah, okay, I'm going to take this meditation and I'm going to do it. And you schedule the time to do it. That's your masculine, right? And then there's your feminine. She. And understand the masculine and feminine is in all of us. And if you've been following me for a while, you already know that. You've probably already taken my quiz, the sandysembler.com quiz. You probably already know your true core essence. Maybe we're even doing work together in my sisterhood course. But there's the masculine and feminine in all of us. And our society has really overworked the masculine side because motherhood in itself is actually masculine. That mama bear mode. That we need to wipe off all the faces. We need to plan the party. We need to make sure that we licked all the stamps for the Christmas cards, right? Plan the vacations. All of that. And a partridge in a pear tree. It's actually quite masculine. It's the nurturing, the receiving that is your beautiful feminine. And after I had my intervention with Tony Robbins in 2014, that's when my whole world came crashing down. in the best way. Boy, was I not living embodied. And let me tell you, I had no idea that this woman was inside of me because I was too busy attempting not to feel. I was too busy attempting to control my surroundings. So, as I'm inviting you to step in to a new embodied you, to use some of these tools that I have, because I'm going to be peppering them out. I'm inviting you to come, to do this free meditation. I've made this for you. And then I'm going to invite you to come back and let's talk about it. So I can give you some support around whatever's coming up. Sharing your wins, embodying a celebration, embodying what it feels like to be excited that you are excited, embodying what it feels like to be full of joy, embodying what it feels like to be excited that you don't know what's on the other side, to learn how to use energy, right, for your better good, understanding that we're all transmitting. And, the Sacred She space has come from this journey of enough bumps and bruises and me also being a seeker and loving to learn and then wanting to give it back. And so I like to collapse time. And I like to collapse time for any of you who are in partnership and you want an upgrade. Not a new partner necessarily, but you want an upgraded version of maybe what you had or what you're dreaming about. Maybe for some of you, and I work with women of all ages and all spaces, or maybe you're dating and you want to embody something a little bit different because you're realizing that your picker's off. That was something my son used to tell me. Mom, your picker is way off when it came to partners. Except his dad, of course. He would say that. So, how do you do that? It doesn't matter how old you are. I've had women in my groups that are 80. I've had women that are 16, depending on the group. It starts with a willingness. It starts with awareness. It starts with allowing yourself to acknowledge that you're ready to surrender into a different version of who you already are. Again, I'm a transformational coach, a teacher, and I come from a place of my own fullness, even though I still have my own wounds. We will never be woundless, right? But what we do is make art with it, making your test a testimony and your mess a message. I love that. So whatever that is for you, as you are going to learn, if you want to dive in a little bit deeper or a lot deeper in this different versions of who you are, I believe there's 10 versions of us, quite frankly, that will go down this path together. If you want to, come back to the party. But for now, please accept this gift. And I would love to hear, how it lands for you. And it takes some time for things to integrate. That's okay. Remember to forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Remember to forgive yourself for what you did know but maybe didn't act on. To forgive those around you that may have harmed you. And I have a process for that, an embodied process that it's deep, it's beautiful, and it's not as hard as you think. So I don't want you to have to travel the globe working with all these different teachers. I mean, it's great and all. And, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of this before you're ready to put your toe in the water to work on your relationship with yourself first, with your kiddos, with your employees, with your purpose, with your business, with your partner. Maybe you're deciding, do I stay or do I go? Since COVID, basically March 20th, 2020, John and I collectively, whether it's in individual programs or together, we have, put back over 200 relationships. And some of those are actually women that were already divorced and they're getting remarried or have already gotten remarried by now. So I'm a tried and true version of this method works. It's not just about learning to be in your feminine. If that was the case, we would just put basically a dress on and we would dance and stick an umbrella in our drink. That's quite dangerous. What I want to do is teach you about the toxic feminine, the sacred feminine, the toxic masculine, right? And the sacred masculine that lives in all of us. And also what happens is it will change your vision. So when you are out there in the world, you'll start viewing others differently. And you'll pick up on things that you didn't pick up before. I'm not saying you're going to judge them, but what appealed to you before may not appeal to you after we get to know each other a little bit better. So, please accept this gift. I can't wait to hear how it lands for you. You don't have to wait till New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. You know what? If you're listening to this, a year from now, and you just happen to catch it, in this Facebook group, we can start over now. Now. Who said it just has to be on New Year's Day? Who made that up? I'm sure somebody did. And I love traditions and I love rituals. I'm from the South, so you better believe that, we eat collard greens and for luck. And we have Hoppin' John, greens for money, Hoppin' Johns for luck. How could I forget that? I'm from South Carolina. Oh, my mom's not watching. And I also know that if you believe in something bigger than yourself, source, God, universe, for me, it's God, creator of all that is. We keep our eye on that prize, see ourselves and others through the eyes of the divine. It's amazing how transformation can happen relatively quickly, especially when we are able to diminish limiting beliefs without having to talk about it. Because there is magic in your body. There is magic in the way that you blink, in the way that you're sitting in your chair, in the way that you brush your teeth, even in the way that you maybe move away from this call. Can you move ever so slowly? Can you actually make this moment delicious? Can you make art out of that heartbreak? That was one of the hardest things for me. I know many of you have heard me talk about my best friend Rachel, who passed away. I had never experienced that kind of grief before, even though I've lost my father years ago and I've lost my grandparents. But I had never, it was like losing an arm. And I had been through a divorce and I thought that was painful. But that, my friends, was tough. And I still find that there are pieces of Rach that come through. And I heard this great analogy, and there's a song called Glitter, which is about grief. Because if you ever open up a card and somebody puts in confetti or glitter and you open it up and it goes everywhere, and if you're like me, it's like I'm getting excited about it and then I'm like, oh no, and then I have to pick that up because you never know where it's going to land. Well, that's what grief is. You never know where it's going to land. And instead of stuffing it, I'm going to invite you to allow me to show you how to make art with it. How to make art with everything that you do. It doesn't mean you're a drama queen. And if you're thinking that you are, or that I am, because I want you to live fully embodied and make art out of the mundane, then that's actually something we need to look at. And that's your toxic masculine and your toxic feminine. Yep. Wanting this to be over. Wanting me to get to the point. Wondering, why am I being so girly? Right? We've all judged that one girl in class, in Bible study, at the seminar, at the doctor's office. Remember, anytime you're triggered, anytime you catch this big awareness, there's probably something in that person that you either want to emulate or they are reminding you of something that you want to change. It is inevitable. We are each other's mirror. So as I mentioned, one of the hardest things when women first start working with me is to be able to really look in the mirror. And I want to invite you, like if you're watching this now, just take a look at yourself right now. Maybe you see yourself in your screen. Maybe you can look over in your phone and see yourself. And can you name just 2 things that you love about yourself? It may not be about your looks. It may be that you see the bridge of your nose and you're like, wow, I'm compassionate. There's a lot of wisdom in this nose. Or maybe it's a wrinkle. Maybe it's a wrinkle up here and they're laugh lines. And you're like, oh, I love that I laugh. And then can you allow yourself to laugh in that moment? There's so much that I want to teach you. There's so much I want to share. I want to take who you already are and I want us to just spit shine each other, right? I like to have fun doing what I do, but I like to go deep. And so as I'm rolling out new programs, new things, for the new year with my new Embodied You, I realized I have a lot to share. And I wanted to expand my reach a little bit more. Because, let's face it, the world needs what you have to offer. Whatever that is, your special sauce, your sacred sauce, right? So, meditation. I'm also going to have a link for a call that I'm going to have next week. That will be a nice gooey sister call. And for many of you that already work with me, please come. Let's just have this nice fun sister circle. We'll see who shows up. The right people will show up. So I'll be popping in here. Please feel free to ask any questions here. Please feel free to send me a DM. But thank you for spending some time with me this afternoon and letting me just pop in. I realize that I've been a little absent here, so I owe you an apology for that. And you're going to be seeing more of me. And I hope I get to see more of you. See you later. Have fun with this meditation, all right? And I can't wait to see you.